evening, Belize. I'm Sabrina Daly. Tonight, the HPV vaccine rollout in schools is sparking fierce debate, with the Catholic diocese pushing back and parents flooding social media on both sides. At the same time, the Immigration Department is under scrutiny as officials investigate reports of possible embezzlement in Belize City. A deadly Belize City stabbing ends in Ralph Martinez's arrest within 24 hours. In Placencia, outrage is growing after dredging was approved despite earlier assurances that permits would be paused. And we take you inside Belize City supermarkets to show you how much grocery prices really vary from store to store. These stories and more are coming up in 60 seconds. Stay with us. News 5 starts now.
This newscast is brought to you by the Belize Bank Limited. Our country, your bank.
Good evening and welcome to News 5 Live for Wednesday, May 13th. I am Sabrina Daly. Tonight, a growing national debate over the HPV vaccine is putting parents, schools, and the state on a collision course. The Catholic diocese is pushing back against the rollout on its school compounds. And while church leaders and health officials are keeping talks behind closed doors, the issue is spilling into the public. One church representative is now speaking up, arguing this isn't about rejecting vaccines, but about who gets the final say. Church Senator Louis Wade says that responsibility belongs to parents, not schools. So as the rollout continues, the big question remains, who decides what's best for Belize's children? News 5, Shane Williams has more.
The controversy surrounding the HPV vaccine rollout in Belizean schools continues to gain national attention. With the diocese pushing back, parents are sounding off, flooding social media with strong opinions on both sides of the vaccine debate. Many parents have voiced support for the vaccine, citing its role in preventing cervical cancer and other HPV-related illnesses. Others, however, side with the diocese, arguing that schools shouldn't be the main channel for distributing vaccines. The Ministry of Health and Wellness has repeatedly stated that the HPV vaccination program is voluntary and requires parental consent before any child receives the vaccine. Both the ministry and the Catholic diocese turned down interview requests today, saying they prefer to continue talks behind closed doors. But Church Senator Louis Wade is publicly supporting the diocese's position. Wade says the objection is not rooted in anti-vaccine sentiment, but instead centers on the need for informed consent.
So we are talking about the fact that the school has children who are under the authority of parents. So the Ministry of Health was in the public domain 2 weeks ago explaining why contraceptives needed not be over the counter, that they preferred that the individual goes into the medical professional to explain the contraceptives, etc. Why not the same for vaccines? Why in 2 weeks' time the Ministry of Health has reversed the position?
Wade argues that decisions involving vaccination should be handled directly between healthcare authorities and parents, rather than schools serving as a mechanism for dissemination.
The Roman Catholic Church did the right thing by putting the parent. It's not just an issue of consent. It is an issue of informed consent. So the Ministry of Health say, oh, but there is a paper that they take home that the parent tick yes or no. It's not enough for the school, because there are a few parents out there that might say, oh, well, teacher sent it. Teacher is an authority figure. What we don't want is consent because the school sent it. What we want is it's consent from the parent because the parent is informed of the medical implications of this particular vaccination.
With talks set to begin, the battle over HPV vaccines in schools is far from over, and tensions aren't easing anytime soon. But Church Senator Louis Wade wished to make one point emphatically clear.
The church is not anti-vax. I can say that categorically because I read the information that's put forward by the Roman Catholic Church on that specific vaccination.
We will continue to seek clarification from the Ministry of Health and Wellness on the status of the program in the more than 200 primary schools not managed by the Catholic Diocese. Shane Williams reporting for News 5.
A cloud of concern is hanging over the Immigration Department tonight as questions surface about how tightly public funds and critical documents are being managed. The Ministry of Immigration has launched an internal probe into reports of possible embezzlement at its Belize City office. While officials say the investigation is still in its early stages, they stress that any evidence of wrongdoing will trigger a full audit and a police probe. And that's not the only red flag. 2 nationality certificates have also gone missing from the Belmopan office, prompting another report to police as authorities try to determine whether they were misplaced or stolen. Amid these troubling developments, the ministry points to a push for reform. A digitization project already underway aims to tighten oversight, reduce vulnerabilities, and prevent exactly these kinds of lapses. For now, the ministry says it's keeping details close, but vows to get to the bottom of both matters and hold anyone possible responsible, fully accountable. A land dispute in Lemonau village has escalated into gunfire, leaving a young woman hospitalized and a community on edge. 21-year-old Stacy Middleton is recovering at the Carl Huchner Memorial Hospital after being shot in the leg during a confrontation on Tuesday. Police say the incident unfolded while licensed gun owner Rupert Gentle was clearing land with a bulldozer, work he claims he was authorized to carry out. Gentle told investigators he fired in self-defense after being confronted by Middleton and others. Police moved quickly to detain him and seized his firearm along with 15 rounds of ammunition. No charges have been filed yet as investigators continue working to determine what triggered the violence. Middleton's family declined to comment, but tensions remain high as police try to prevent further flare-ups in the village. The family of 56-year-old Mark Longsworth continues to mourn and plan his funeral tonight. But they are one step closer to getting justice for the murder of their loved one. Police have moved swiftly in a deadly stabbing in Belize City early Monday morning. The victim, Longsworth, was found injured near the corner of Mopan and Ebony Streets and rushed to the KHMH where he later died. By Tuesday evening, investigators charged 53-year-old Ralph Sherlock Martinez Sr. with murder. Martinez was detained shortly after the incident, and police say they're continuing to piece together what led to the fatal attack. It has been 48 days since 28-year-old Deborah Bree Arthurs was last seen. A call center employee and mother of one, Arthurs traveled to Belize City on March 27th to drop her son off at the water taxi terminal before she was expected to return home to Belmopan. She never made it back. Her family says police have shared no new information and the trail has gone cold. As her name joins a growing list of missing persons still unaccounted for in this country, the question must be asked: how many more Belizean families must wait this long for answers? After the break, did the government score a $5 million deal, or is there more to this major land purchase? Stay with us.
At Habet and Abet and Brothers Abet, we've always proudly celebrated Women's Month. This year, we celebrate women keeping the balance at home, at work, and in their communities. That's why all March long, all women receive 15% off store-wide, from paints to plumbing and everything in between. Plus 30 to 65% off lots more deals on sale and clearance. With trusted experience, top quality products, and service that's second to none, we're here to support women every step of the way. Visit or call us today. Happy Women's Month from all of us at Habet and Abet and Brothers Abet, doing our part to balance the scales.
Over the past 5 years, Digi has invested more than $17 million to revolutionize Belize's digital future. Our advanced 4G LTE network and expanded fiber infrastructure have empowered vital road arteries, connected the farthest valleys and fertile farmlands, linked the bustling cities to the remote keys, and brought cutting-edge connectivity to schools, businesses, healthcare centers, and tourist destinations, fueling economic growth, enhancing education, and strengthening communities across the nation. By choosing Digi, you're leading Belize's digital transformation, bridging distances, opening opportunities, and empowering every corner of our beautiful country. Connect with Digi. Empower Belize.
Life is full of precious moments worth cherishing, moments that shape our present and lay the foundation for our future. But amidst life's beautiful tapestry, there are uncertainties we must confront. How do we secure today while protecting tomorrow? Introducing RF&G Life Insurance, your partner in safeguarding what matters most. With a RF&G Life Insurance plan, you can ensure financial security for your loved ones, providing them with a safety net for the future. From identifying and recommending plans suitable for your unique needs to expert advice every step of the way, RF&G Life Insurance is committed to protecting your family's legacy. Choose RF&G Life Insurance for peace of mind you can rely on. RF&G Life Insurance, securing today, protecting tomorrow. Your life, your legacy.
Nestled away in the quaint Belize River Valley, Black Orchid's Panda River Restaurant offers a variety of great dining areas and experiences with an excellent variety of local and international cuisine, with healthy meal options for vegans and those with health concerns. Your delectable dining can be topped off with our excellent desserts, natural fruit juices, and exquisite wine and drink options. All prepared by our certified chef and award-winning mixologist. Come to Panda River Restaurant and River Rum Bar to relax in the pool or use our excellent conference facilities combined with great dining.
A diamond in the jungle.
Ready, Dangriga? Something big is coming your way. Open your eyes, Summerfest 2026 is heading to the culture capital, Dangriga. Join us on June 12th at 6:30 a.m. at the iconic Alejo Beni Park for a morning filled with energy, excitement, and pure talent. This year, it's all about the kids, from singing to dancing, poetry to performances. If they've got talent, we've got the stage.
Bring out the entire family and come celebrate creativity, culture, and the future stars of Belize. Expect fun, music, surprises, and unforgettable moments. Don't miss it. Open Your Eyes Summerfest 2026, where young talent shines the brightest.
Residents of Placencia Peninsula say trust has been broken. They were promised a pause on development, but instead a green light was quietly given. The Department of Environment has approved dredging and reclamation works for Seaboard Holdings Limited, sparking outrage among communities who insist government agencies had agreed to hold off on permits until a coastal erosion study was completed. Now, residents are demanding answers. They're calling out key officials in the Department of Environment, Mining and Physical Planning, questioning how the approval slipped through. For a community already watching its coastline erode, this isn't just about paperwork, but about promises made and promises they believe were not kept.
Maybe the government doesn't have to consult with local communities, and that's one of the frustrations that we have had for ages, that people could come to our peninsula, to our home, and build whatever they want, structures, without any consultation with the village, with the communities. They simply have to just go to Belmopan and apply through some of the different departments there. And the fact is, most people in these departments, while they're qualified, they've studied their particular field, they're not familiar with the community itself and how some of these decisions affect people on the ground. So there's definitely need for a lot more consultation with communities before permits and other approvals are given for most things, I would say. I mean, as the council, we feel really not only disrespected, but there's maybe no need for a council if everything can be done in Belmopan without any kind of consultation with the community. Placencia is on the southern part of the peninsula, and where this activity, dredging, was happening is north of the peninsula, so it's more in the St. Bite jurisdiction. While the lagoon is shared by all of us, and we're very concerned about any activities in there and development, it's the way the process works. I think the issuing authorities would reach out to the St. Bite Village Council, so that may be the reason why we weren't privy to the letters and the issuance of the permits for the activity.
As outrage grows over dredging activity in the Placencia Lagoon, the Chief Environmental Officer of the Department of Environment is now speaking out. Antonio Mai says his department did its due diligence before granting environmental clearance for the project, and that when concerns were raised, officers went to the site immediately. But he also acknowledged that the contractor did not follow the permit to the letter, and that critical protection to prevent sediment from spilling into the lagoon was never put in place.
So basically, approval was given for them to remove 4,500 cubic yards of material to be used to fill the property and to also to fill the erosion, to abate the erosion that was happening from the seaside portion of the development. And so when we went on site, we found that a structure had been built 500 feet long, but about 20 feet wide and about maybe 5 or 10 feet deep. But the purpose of it was to obtain the material to meet the obligations of the permits and the clearance, right? And so we had instructed that the mining unit, along with the Department of Environment, has instructed that the structure be removed. But to us, the big concern is that at least the condition as it relates to putting in place proper silt screen and sediment containment was not done. So I just want to be clear, it's not dredging per se, it's more excavation. And so they went in with an excavator, they dug out the material. The community's input is important because they live close to the area that will be affected. And again, I started off by saying that indeed, when we granted clearance to this project, we did our proper due diligence. In fact, we have letters of support from the St. Bite Village Council. During that process, when it was brought to our attention, is when we received information to suggest that a study was done in the area that shows that the area might be habitat for manatee. But before clearance was granted or any permit was granted, we were not aware of that study.
A meeting is scheduled for tomorrow between representatives from the mining department, the St. Bite Village Council, and the project operator to discuss the concerns surrounding the dredging activity and what immediate steps can be taken moving forward. News 5 will bring you that update as it develops. A prime piece of Belize City real estate is now in government hands, and officials say it's money well spent. The government of Belize has snapped up the Sandcast bottom dollar property on Northfront Street for $5 million, negotiating it down from an $8 million price tag. But it's not just a land purchase. Chief Engineer Evandale Moody says it's part of a bigger infrastructure strategy. According to the Ministry of Infrastructure, Development and Housing, the acquisition will save taxpayers millions by avoiding the costly relocation of water and sewer lines tied to the upcoming swing bridge replacement. In fact, he estimates that moving those utilities alone would have cost around $3 million. So while the price tag may raise eyebrows, officials argue the long-term savings and smoother project rollout make the deal worth it.
In our discussions during the implementation of the procurement process, we were advised by BWS that they have a sewer line and a water line within the easement that is there between Prosser and also Bottom Dallas parking lot. And so that was exactly in the alignment where the structure is supposed to be constructed across the Halover Creek, taking us across to Regent Street West. So in consultation with them, I received a correspondence from them whereby they indicated that to relocate that line, it will cost us approximately $3 million Belize dollars. And that is to relocate the sewer main and also a water main that runs under the bed of the Halover Creek. After a period of approximately 1 month, we had negotiations back and forth with the owners of the property. And so it was advised by us to the government that we acquire those 3 properties rather than paying for the relocation of the pipe. Reason being is that under the project, we also have some funding for the provision of office space for the Japanese contractor once they arrive in the country. And so we had $1 million that was budgeted for that under the grant agreement. And so based on our negotiations with the owners, we were able to negotiate a purchase price of approximately $5 million Belize dollars.
Moody says the property will be used as storage space for the contractor during the implementation of the project. When construction is complete, the government of Belize will be able to use the property as it sees fit. Change is already underway around the Belcan Bridge, and it's pushing businesses to move. As preparations ramp up for the bridge replacement, the Ministry of Infrastructure is clearing the way, working closely with the Belize City Council to relocate vendors and car dealers operating nearby. Notices have gone out, and many dealers have already pulled out. The council has agreed to relocate the remaining vendors, including Tony's Barbecue, as work moves ahead. Soon, that stretch by the bridge will look completely different, set to become a wider, modern approach for the new Belcan Bridge.
With respect to the relocation of the vendors near the Belcan Bridge, I have written to the mayor of Belize City with respect to those relocation. With respect to the vendor near the taxi stand, which is just behind Sayview, with respect to Tony's Barbecue, and also with respect to the shed that is over by BWS, just across on the south side of the bridge. So I have written to the mayor with respect to those, and he has committed to ensuring that he works with these vendors to get them relocated as soon as possible. We have given them a timeline of approximately 30 days for that to be done. And so the mayor has written back to me in good faith, indicating that he's working on that and that will be done in a timely manner. The new structure is wider than the existing structure, and so we will need to reclaim that area and then completely do a new pavement upgrade to tie in with the new structure.
Moody noted that the Sayview entrance along Central American Boulevard will be incorporated in the design of the project to allow for access to the boulevard. The MIDH has placed a deadline on the removal of business signs and roadside memorials along the George Price Highway between Belize City and Hattieville. Acknowledging the significance of the memorials, the ministry issued a notice requesting that removals be completed by June 12th. Today, Chief Engineer Evondale Moody explained why the request is being made.
Yesterday, I sent out a public notice to inform businesses and individuals that have either signs or memorials along the highways, specifically between Belize City and Hattieville, where we have the upgrading of Lot 1 of the George Price Highway project. This was done in anticipation of the works that are currently being undertaken by Cisco Construction. At this point in time, Cisco is working at 3 locations. They're working between Western Avenue and Farbers Road. They're also working between mile 4 and 5, which is the Old Belize area, and also between mile 8 and 10, which is near the airports. So we are aware that there are a number of signs within the official road reserve. And so the ministry has to ensure that we hand over a road reserve that is clear and free of all obstacles to the contractor in anticipation of his works. And so to facilitate that, we thought it was prudent for us to send out this notice.
Moody says when the deadline passes, the ministry will request that the contractor carry out the removal of the signs and memorials. Up next, big promises but no rules. With elections looming, who's really bankrolling the campaigns? But first, here's the weather forecast from the National Meteorological Service.
Why is it that our Belizean dollar doesn't go up and down like that, sir?
Because Belize chose stability by fixing its exchange rate to support how our economy works. And that choice didn't happen by accident. But to understand it, we have to go back to the beginning. So in 1894, Belize introduced its first official dollar and fixed this exchange rate 1-to-1 with the US dollar. We traded with America in both directions, exporting timber, chicle, and importing most of what we needed from the United States. A fixed exchange rate helped to keep price changes more predictable for both sides of the trade.
But how did Belize make sure the rate stayed fixed?
So that same year, a currency board was created to issue local money and protect the fixed exchange rate. Every dollar issued was fully supported by foreign currency. Stability wasn't optional or by chance. The institutions to protect the value were built into the system. For decades, we stayed tied to the US dollar because of our trade. But in 1939, World War II changed the rules. Britain required its colonies to hold their foreign reserves in British pounds. Belize still maintained its one-to-one US link for trade, but with reserves now in sterling, the system was exposed to changes in Britain's currency. That vulnerability showed itself in 1949 when Britain devalued the pound. Because our reserves were held in British pounds, that devaluation passed directly into our currency, meaning more local dollars were needed to buy $1 US.
So that's when Belize decided to act?
Yes, Belize made a deliberate choice on May 11, 1976, to anchor our dollar again to the US in a way that matched our trade and financial reality. Our monetary authority, now the Central Bank of Belize, took responsibility for maintaining that stability through disciplined oversight backed by strong US dollar reserves.
So our Belize dollar has stayed at 2 Belize to 1 US for 50 years?
Yes, and for a small country like Belize, that kind of stability makes everyday decisions easier for businesses and for families.
So it's not just about the money in my hand, it's about knowing that my credit union money or my savings at the bank will keep its value no matter what happens out there.
Exactly. The peg protects us, so Belize can plan, trade, and save with confidence, even when the rest of the world is shifting.
Need a fresh new kitchen, flip that switch ignition. G appliances shine. Every knob, every line, all align and turn the shower on. Feel gold, colder in the chrome. So bold from the tiles to the tiny screws. We've got the wow you choose. All in one place, Design Depot. Everything you need for the life you want. Let's go. From the floor to the paint to the patio glow. Build it up, light it up. Watch your dream home grow. All in one place. All in one place. All in one place. All in one place. All in one place.
Design Depot. All in one place. Stay connected in the USA for as low as $10. With Smart Roaming Data Pass, staying connected is simple and affordable. Get the data you need starting at 1,000 megabytes to stay connected to larger plans that keep you online while you travel across the USA. So you can message, browse, video call, and navigate wherever you go. No SIM swap, no bill shock. Just simple, affordable pricing. Activate easily by dialing *100# using the Smart app or online. Smart Roaming Data Pass. Staying connected the smart way. Smart, bringing people together.
If your grocery bill feels like it's creeping higher every week, you're not imagining things, and where you shop might be making a bigger difference than you think. We hit the aisles at 3 supermarkets across Belize City, comparing the cost of everyday essentials from breakfast basics to household must-haves to see just how much prices can vary from one store to the next. For families already juggling tight budgets, those small differences could mean real savings or added strain at the checkout. So, how far can your dollar stretch depending on the store? Paul Lopez takes a closer look.
Prices on items across grocery stores vary. Today we visited 3 stores in Belize City to compare prices on specific items location to location. We visited Public Supermarket, North Side, 88 Shopping Center on the South Side, and Sam's Mart in the heart of the city. Equipped with a list of grocery items including dishwashing liquid, cornflakes, chopped ham, Suavitel, laundry detergent, canned tuna, and tomato paste, among other things, we looked at each item store by store. Public Supermarket sells the 200 grams dark chopped ham at $4.39, the cheapest of the three stores. Sam's carries the same product at a cost of $4.65, the highest of the three stores, while 88 Shopping Center is somewhere in the middle at $4.50. Of the three stores, we also recorded the cheapest price on Masatun canned tuna in Public Supermarket at $2.95. Sam's carries the same product for $3.25, while 88 Supermarkets struck middle ground at $2.99. Some items cost more at smaller shops, and there's a reason why. Sam's Mart manager, Erica Matos, explains why a Belizean-owned business can't always match the prices of larger supermarkets.
As a Belizean-owned business, the challenges we face is buying in quantity, where the bigger chains then could buy more, so you get a lower cost.
Controller of Supplies Lennox Nicholson confirmed the volume of purchase has significant influence on retail prices.
You may have two establishments selling the same item. One of them would have made a purchase of, let's say, 100 cases, while the other one may have bought 25 cases, all right? And in getting the supply of their product, normally when entities purchase in large bulk like that, they're in a better bargaining position to get a better price per case.
But Sam's was not the most expensive when it came to certain products. They sell a bottle of 1.9-liter Suavitel laundry detergent for $6.95. That same bottle is 30 cents more at Public Supermarket, $7.25. Of the three stores, we found the most expensive box of Fans cornflakes inside 88 Shopping Center at $7.50. Sam's have been able to strike a pricing middle ground at $6.95, while the lowest price was recorded at Public Supermarket, $6.85. Notably, according to Nicholson, location is becoming less of an influence on retail prices.
What you find is that there's a general practice that if it's a rural area, the price just higher, right? Or if it's farther away from Belize City, it's different or the price is higher. But when you drill down and you look at the invoice to show what they acquired the good for, there is not that significant gap between what an establishment in Belize City may be acquiring for compared to what an establishment maybe in Belmopan is acquiring for.
A bottle of 400 milliliter Axion dishwashing liquid is cheapest inside 88 Shopping Center, while Sam's carries the same product for $3.95. To up its competitiveness, Sam's Mart has introduced its own line of poultry products.
The whole chicken is $2.90 a pound. Then we have chicken wings that come bagged, and this is $5.95 a pound. Then we have neck and back right now, which is $1 a pound.
For shoppers, the takeaway is clear. Comparing prices can make a difference, even within the same city. Reporting for News 5, I am Paul Lopez.
The push to protect consumers is ramping up, but questions remain about who's really in control of prices. The Supplies Control Unit says it's getting tougher, doubling its staff, opening new offices across the country, and teaming up with the Police Training Academy to boost enforcement. But as those efforts expand, one key issue comes into focus. When it comes to unregulated goods, is anyone actually setting the price, or is it still a free-for-all?
The milder way to put it is that it's left to competitive forces and it is left to market forces. And one of the key things for those goods is for the consumer to exercise their right to choose, right? That is key. You sometimes I think consumers become creatures of habit, and you get accustomed to shopping at one particular location, So because you're not necessarily moving around, you're not even aware if there's a better deal on a particular product at another location. And I think that is something that consumers in this day and age, where you're trying to maximize your purchasing power, that is something I think consumers should pay more attention.
At what point do you determine that they're price gouging?
Well, when what you establish their purchase cost, you look at what they're retailing the product for, and it's a basic calculation of percentage. Once they're outside of that, they are in violation, and we would have to deal with it.
Lennox says the unit is also working to increase its surveillance. A recent fuel discount is fueling a bigger debate about money and politics in Belize. When UDP Belize Rural Central caretaker Edward Broster introduced a $2 gas subsidy, it quickly raised eyebrows and revived long-standing concerns about who is bankrolling political activity. As questions grow, so does the pressure for answers. So where is the promised legislation to bring transparency and accountability to political spending? Shane Williams looks into it.
Campaign season is already heating up, but what's missing is any real clarity on who's funding it. With municipal elections less than 10 months away, long-promised campaign finance reforms appear stuck in limbo, overshadowed by politics and public silence. The spotlight was recently on Edward Broster's gas subsidy push, framed as a stand against rising fuel prices. But it's also raising deeper concerns about money in politics, because behind the headlines and handouts lies a bigger issue Belize has yet to confront. Who is paying for these campaigns? It's a question that has lingered for years, even after then opposition leader John Briceño pledged in 2020 to introduce a comprehensive system to regulate political financing.
There are four basic tenets in campaign finance legislation that we're talking about. One is that we need to define who's a political party, and to be defined and to set up standards. I said, secondly, we're thinking about campaign financing. We need to look at, will it be strictly private, will it be strictly public, will it be private-public model? So we're looking at that.
Yeah.
And by that meaning that, you limit the types of donations that can be given to a political party.
The promise gained momentum after the PUP formed government. In May of 2021, Prime Minister Briceño announced that campaign finance legislation would move forward before the end of that year in collaboration with the unions and the Belize Chamber of Commerce and Industry. The chamber even drafted proposed legislation.
So today's session really was to inform the media of the intricate elements of what campaign finance is, looking at a draft bill that we've put together and sharing what could be put into law. And of course, then we will see how we can work with the government in order to ensure that this is passed.
The proposal sought to regulate donations, introduce reporting requirements, and establish greater transparency in political fundraising. The National Trade Union Congress of Belize also backed the effort and warns that unchecked campaign financing opens the door to corruption and political payback.
We always hear about corruption when it comes to campaigning, when it comes to election day. And because the limited resources we have in this country must be spent wisely, we cannot allow that we have business or large entities or large people with great finances sponsoring parties when it comes to election time, and then they have to reimburse these favors.
Promises were made, but nothing changed. Years of consultations and draft plans have yet to produce a single law, even as another election draws near. Critics say both major parties benefit from a system with little oversight, few disclosures, and almost no consequences. Public pressure has faded, and so too has the urgency. So the question still hangs. If campaign finance reform was once a national priority 5 years ago, why has it all but disappeared? Shane Williams reporting for News 5.
Still ahead, Fonseca recovers. The PM steps in. But why wasn't someone else tapped? The questions tonight.
Electricity is essential for everyday life, but behind every outlet, a lot is happening to bring you safe, reliable, and sustainable energy. Let's start at the beginning. Independent power producers across Belize generate electricity using a mix of renewable and non-renewable resources. Electricity travels across a network of high-voltage transmission lines capable of transmitting electricity across long distances. Electricity then reaches your nearest substation, where it is adjusted to a lower voltage, making it safe to travel on the distribution lines you see in your community. From there, electricity makes its final journey from the distribution lines to your home, providing you with safe and reliable power when you need it. Belize Electricity Limited. We continue to serve you.
Belize wakes up connected to opportunity. And across our country, the work to keep Belize connected continues. SMART continues expanding our network across the country, bringing stronger coverage to more communities. With recent service enhancements in areas at Blue Creek and Progresso, Belize City, Orange Walk, and more on the way. We're bringing education closer to home, empowering entrepreneurs to grow their businesses, supporting industries that drive our economy, and keeping families connected wherever life takes them. With every expansion, we are investing in the infrastructure that moves Belize forward. Because connection isn't just about signal, it's about opportunity, progress, and the future we are building together. SMART, bringing people together.
The Social Security Board's new whistleblower reporting system makes it easy and confidential to speak up by reporting misuse of the Social Security services and benefits, including fraud, misconduct, false claims, and more. If you know of any unethical or illegal activity relating to SSB benefits, claims, or personnel, go to ssbspeakup.integrityline.com or use our toll-free hotline 0800-SPEAK-UP, 0800-773-2587. This confidential reporting system is a way for you to report concerns or incidents privately without fear of reprisal. Your submission is confidential and anonymous. The Social Security Board is committed to providing a secure, confidential medium for whistleblowing that promotes organizational accountability and enhances public confidence in our services.
Easy. Accessible. Safe. Yours. Digi Wallet. Easy, accessible, safe, yours.
Protect your motor, secure your property. Oh yeah, Home Protector Insurance got you covered, you see. Covered, you see. From motor to property, and even marine. We'll keep you safe no matter where you've been. No matter where you've been, no matter where you've been. Get the peace of mind that only we can bring. Oh yeah. With no insurance, you will never fret or sing, never fret or sing. We offer bonds and so much more, so much more. Home protector insurance, we got what you're looking for, what you're looking for. Secure your
A key ministry is now under the Prime Minister's watch, and it's raising questions about who's next in line. Foreign Affairs Minister Francis Fonseca is recovering after triple bypass surgery, with Prime Minister John Briceño temporarily taking over the portfolio. But today, attention turned to Economic Transformation Minister Dr. Osman Martinez, as reporters pressed him on why he wasn't tapped as an interim replacement.
That's a question to Prime Minister, but I don't think a temporary minister is needed. I know the Prime Minister is looking into it. He's the one who's holding that position, and I believe it's only right. I mean, I don't think anyone can replace Minister Fonseca, no? And I want to take this opportunity to wish him well and a fast recovery. We've been praying to him. He's, in addition to a colleague, he's a good friend and a mentor that I have. I don't know if they have promoted Marconi Leal, but I know that he is in foreign trade. I am not in foreign affairs and foreign trade. I am at the Ministry of Economic Transformation, which is the ministry under the Prime Minister's office.
Minister Fonseca is a key figure in Belize's diplomatic relationships abroad. But for now, the foreign trade portfolio stays in the Prime Minister's hands. More than a decade after the Caribbean Court of Justice ruling on Maya land rights, questions remain about land ownership, compensation, and how the government plans to address overlapping titles in southern Belize. Most recently, the alcalde of Indian Creek made headlines after issuing land certificates that the government moved to discredit, and he later alleged he was kidnapped. Dr. Osman Martinez, Minister of Economic Transformation, insists that the Briceño administration has been working closely with Maya community leaders to build trust and avoid further conflict.
We are in touch with the community leaders. Therefore, I see a huge opportunity for us to come into, to put an end to what I will consider a historical moment for Belize, MLA, but also for the third parties that are within the area. The Caribbean Court of Justice ruling came in 2015. And I believe that if that is an argument and a case that can be proved that after 2015 any title was issued to a third party, then they do have the right to say, you know what, the government do have the responsibility to compensate wherever there is duplications of title. But then we have another scenario. What about the scenario where someone got a title from 1980-something? And then the ruling came in 2015. This government, the Briceño administration, have been very respectful in terms of preventing any further conflict. To the point, and you can confirm this with the Deputy Prime Minister, to the point that some who are to pay their taxes in areas that are designated or are have been mapped out within the Mayan land rights, the government does not collect the taxes. They say, put a hole on it, because we are respecting. This government is a respecter of the rule of law.
Martinez says the work goes beyond policy. He says the government has been deliberately building trust and respect with Maya community leaders, and that without that foundation, no legal resolution will hold. As dry season conditions continue to create dangerous fire risks across the country, the San Pedro Town Council is sounding the alarm on a practice that remains all too common in many communities: burning garbage. The warning comes on the heels of two recent fires that hit close to home for residents in the area. Just days ago, a warehouse in San Pedro burned to the ground, and before that, a fire broke out at Secret Beach. The council is reminding residents that open burning of any kind is prohibited and carries fines, urging everyone to use the solid waste transfer station instead.
the discussion is that we are sending out a very strong statement supported by the council, by the fire department, by the police department, and of course my office of the warnings of the illegal and land clearing of, but especially up north in San Pedro, a lot of land clearing for land development is happening. So that is with the high winds right now and the extreme dry season, that is what we are emitting right now because it's a lot of brush fires, and that's because of illegal and irresponsible lighting up to try to clear your lands. By the reports, it wasn't a house, but it's a warehouse. It was a warehouse that burnt down. And we are still up there doing the reports and assessment, but it's obviously it's related to people doing the land clearing. And it's very windy these days. We're in the month of May. So on that, and it's a distance away from town. I think it's almost a distance of about 5 to 6 miles. And that by Hamburg ski standards, it's a distance away to get there. Again, it's land clearing. Everybody is trying to, right now with the dry season, there's no flooding. So people are trying to clear the lands to start because a lot of those lands have been distributed for residential area, for residents. So I can understand the reason why people are trying to clear up so they can start building. So again, that is another brush fire that's created by that. So that is why we are, I repeat on what we sent out a very strong statement about the illegalities of lighting up and trying to clear lands by way of fire.
The message from authorities is clear. No fire is worth the risk. With dry season far from over, residents are being asked to do their part. Coming up, hackers are getting smarter with AI. Are you the next target?
Was built by people, neighbors helping neighbors, standing side by side with those who trust us to protect what matters most and help build our communities. Being there when needed most. Across borders, across generations. Still growing, still giving, still just getting started. After 185 years.
The future is calling. Belize Bank. Your future, our commitment.
In Belize, change is taking shape every day. It all starts with game changers. Investing in modern transport, better health infrastructure, renewable power for all, digital transformation, and more opportunities for a brighter future, the European Union's Global Gateway Initiative is unlocking new potential. Game Changers are bringing this to life. Game Changers, empowering the future. Follow the EU in Belize to meet the Game Changers.
Look here, your kitchen light there and you've been in the kitchen.
But I'm going back in there right now.
And the coffee maker?
Just to try to keep my coffee warm for later.
What do you do now?
I'll try to think more to eat.
You know the more you open or close the fridge, it takes longer for the food cool. For a hot day like today, it burns more energy. You charge your phone right now?
No.
Plug it out then. You really only wash 2 Lee socks and 1 Lee shirt? You don't know what small load burn the same amount of electricity as large loads?
But this is my favorite shirt.
You have to be more energy efficient. Use large loads. This AC they blow hard. You know, if you keep the temperature at 25 degrees Celsius or higher, you burn less energy and you also keep the place cool. And for a nice day like today, turn off the AC, open up the house and make some fresh breeze come in.
You know what? I think I get it now. As consumers, we need to be more energy efficient and practice energy conservation.
Life moves fast. Your connection should keep up. Need more credit? More data? A flex bundle that fits your lifestyle? With Smart Prepaid, they're a prepaid option for every lifestyle and budget, making it easy to stay connected wherever you are. Because with Smart Prepaid, you can connect on your terms. Purchase credit, data, flex bundles, prepaid plans, and all your favorite prepaid services at any Smart agent, Smart showroom, or simply dial *100 key. No stress, no waiting, just fast, easy, convenient ways to stay connected every day. Smart Prepaid. Connect on your terms.
Tomorrow on Open Your Eyes at 6:30 a.m., we take a closer look at the effects of alcohol abuse and the journey towards recovery as we discuss healing, awareness, and support for those battling addiction. We'll also highlight a major milestone for Belize City fishermen as the long-awaited Yabra Fish Market officially opens its doors, bringing new opportunity and stability to local livelihoods. Plus, we celebrate Belizean culture and flavor with a spotlight on Belize Chocolate Fest 2026 and the growing excellence of the country's cacao industry. And with temperatures continuing to rise, we'll hear important information on how the extreme heat impacts dogs and what pet owners can do to keep their animals safe and healthy. Join us live tomorrow morning on Open Your Eyes.
From hacked Facebook accounts to online scams and stolen personal information, cybercrime is becoming a growing concern around the world. Officials in Belize City sounded the alarm on AI-driven cyber threats today. Government, local groups, and partners from the U.S. and Taiwan met to tackle how artificial intelligence is reshaping online security. With more Belizeans banking, working, and socializing online, leaders say protecting data and building the skills to do it is no longer optional.
As Belizeans, we also need to believe in the Belizean product. We have excellent developers in country and excellent products in country, but when we say it's made in Belize, we tend to hesitate and say, I don't think that is good enough for us. But if we say an international company did it, we glorify that company. So we need to improve our image as Belizeans and ensure that we leverage our expertise in country and believe in our capacity also. As you well mentioned, this event could not have been possible without the partnership of the U.S. government and also the Taiwanese government. They also brought in international experts on the subject matter of cybersecurity and AI that they would be sharing during the day. And it's important that as a government we build international relations with countries that have lived through cyber threats so that we gain from that knowledge. And we also need to understand how the bad actors use AI to improve their attack surface within the cybersecurity ecosystem. So because it is twofold, the purpose of what we're doing today also includes how do we leverage AI to improve our security posture in country, and also recognizing the threats that come along from the use of AI tools to penetrate different networks.
Urbina says interest in cybersecurity is growing, but Belize is losing talent. He points to a steady brain drain with students who study abroad choosing not to return. Urbina says the country must create more opportunities at home to keep skilled professionals and build a stronger digital future. Before we leave you, here's tonight's viewer's voice on our first story. Embezzlement probe and lost certificates inside Immigration Department. Jaguar Pa commented, "This is nothing strange, especially in government departments in Belize. However, nothing is done and nobody is held accountable." Turning to 48 days missing, where is Deborah Bree Arthurs? Cheryl Lewis Flowers shared, "I think this is nothing strange, I think the family should continue with their search, probably in the same area she went missing, praying that the good Lord brings closure for her family and that They should not give up on finding her. And finally, on the store you choose matters more than you think. Sonia Singh shared, "I'm the only one in the house that does the shopping, and it matters to me where I shop for each item I purchase. I don't only look at price, but also at the quality of the product, and I take advantage of discounts and sales." Thank you for engaging with us. Your voices shape the national conversation. Keep those comments coming, and we'll continue to feature them right here. And that's the news. Tonight's broadcast is available at greaterbelize.com, on our Facebook, and on YouTube. I'm Sabrina Daly. Thanks for joining us, and from all of us here at News 5, good night.